What is going on? All my bunch of favorite internet weirdos. How we doing today? Dice rolling in your favor? Having some good kit bashing sessions? Your paint sessions going great? Man, I hope so, but good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is when y'all watching this one right here. Okay, I guess I can call this an old-timer rant at Privateer Press? Not exactly sure what I'm going to call it, but something along those lines. But you know what we got to do. We've got to get the adulting out of the way before we can play, right? So here we go with a word from our unofficial sponsor.
So there I was, 23 years old, prime of my life. I woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and my hair was thinning. It was all falling out. It wasn't until I discovered this one solution that changed everything. My first initial thought was, it's gotta be genetics, right? It's not my fault, this is genetic. Go and find out. I'm not the only one dealing with thinning hair and confidence issues. And it was nuts because we started to change everything in our routine.
We started looking at what we were putting in our bodies, what we were eating, how much water we were intaking, and then we started working out and taking care of ourselves, but still something was missing.
But also what we put on our body is drastically important to our skin and hair health. So we ditched all of those chemical filled products. We started using healthy, organic ingredients and took it upon myself to start creating these organic ingredient products to help people. I have a solution for you. Ditch all of those chemical filled products and grab something that's organic, natural, handmade, something that your family will thank you and your health will thank you. Make the switch today.
Incredible, man. Incredible company. Seriously, click that link down below. You won't be disappointed. All right. A little bit ago, I brought you the brand new by Steamforged Games War Machine 2-player box set. I went looking into a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like anything that's ever been released, if you can find it, you can use it. Okay. So the secondary markets, I know, are probably making a killing right now, like eBay and Amazon and all that fun stuff. All right. I had heard that Privateer Press, and people have done rants on it before, and I had never seen them until recently. That they went from the heavy metal miniatures, which I just recently put together, Striker on the Horse, which made me go, dear God, how did I ever love these things before? Because I wanted to throw it across the room at least a couple dozen times. Back under control, Chris. I found a box set, a Signar Battle Group, and it brought back nostalgic memories of when I got like Striker. I think it's a Centurion. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, an Ironclad, a Lancer, and oh dear God, a Sentinel. I think it was the guy who had the Gatling gun. Brought back great memories. Okay. We're going to do a full review on this later on, because if you're going to release a box set on getting into the game, in my opinion, this is the way to do it. This is the way it should have been done and should always be done. But that's for another video. But the miniatures in there are plastic. So, my first real big problem is it's this blue weird crap. Honestly, this is some of the worst plastic I have ever worked with. Plastic glue really didn't hold these guys together. I had to go to Gorilla Glue Gel. No cap, as the kids say. I glued a piece on with plastic glue, came back 12 hours later and just pulled it right off. You shouldn't be able to do that. Worst stuff ever. Cleaning up the mold lines on this stuff, I don't know if you can see that too well, but there's a huge little white gash in there where something kind of broke. And it only gets worse from there when you're trying to clean it up. If you've gone to all plastic, why didn't you go with the sealed bases? Because now I'm going to do what I usually did, put a piece of tape over that, hold that down. That way none of the scenic stuff that I'm going to use is going to fall through the cracks and leak all over my table and do all kinds of other crap. I cannot believe just the quality control on these guys. I like the fact that some of the pieces in there have slotted things, so there's only one way it can go. But it also makes me think, were these about the same size as the original miniatures? Because I remember them being a little bit bigger and a little bit bulkier. Now granted, I know there's a transition from metal to plastic and retooling all the kits and retooling all the dies and everything else. I want to give Privateer credit for trying, but this was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. But this is a Lancer still on its back. Okay, I wanted to show you that because that's how they came. The one I put together was the Firefly. Okay. You can kind of see a little bit, I think, around the foot with all that white stuff down below. That was a bunch of the plastic glue that never really wanted to seem to dry. Okay? The miniature kept falling over, falling over, falling over, falling over. You'd start to work with it a little bit, fall over. So that's when I said, all right, I gotta go to Gorilla Glue Gel. There's an example on the shoulder. See like that white break? That's just getting stuff off a sprue and, having to shave it down. I've had bad experiences with other companies when they put out colored plastic miniatures with the primer adhering beautifully, and just usually you can go over one coat, you're done, you can move on, get forward with your day. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to hit it in the primer and get it on the paint table here really soon, because I'm kind of taking a break from my Space Wolves and my Custodes and getting a palette cleanser and just enjoying Privateer Press. Well, not Privateer Press, but War Machine again. Now, I do have one of the sprues from Steamforged Games. Okay. I'm currently working on the Black 13th, but I'm doing them one person at a time, so I don't feel like I'm batch painting and I'm hurrying. I feel that character solos need to have that Warcaster, you're going to sit down, you're going to paint them a lot kind of vibe. I like the difference in the look, the consistency, and everything else. I like the fact that it's on a sprue. I didn't like the fact that you don't get any instructions on how to put these guys together, all right? You got to look at pictures and take a lot of guesswork to get things done. But the quality difference between the two is just speaks volumes to me. I don't know who greenlit this way back with Privateer Press, but I'm starting to really understand the downfall of War Machine when it was one of the biggest games in the world and it was kicking Games Workshop's butt, and then it's like everything went out from underneath it. I'm happy that it's back, because I have a lot of fond, nostalgic memories about getting together with gaming groups, getting a new Warjack in, getting it painted up, trying to figure out how it's going to work in synergistic ways with Cygnar, because, they're the masters of, long range and lightning and everything else in technology. So it's like you just can't drop a Warjack in the middle with your caster. You got to make sure it kind of works. I mean, I played Striker until I got a Haley, miniature, and then I have been a massive fan of Victoria ever since. I was experimenting around with Nemo for a while, but then I just kind of stopped playing. And that's right when Hordes got, I don't know, I don't want to say escalation, but when it got its second round with Borka Kegslayer, yeah, because I was a Trollblood fan. I still am a Trollblood fan. I like them. I like what they did. I like a lot of stuff. I love the lore. I just... Great memories. I'm not going to invest too much in there. I did some drunken purchases over the last weekend just because I really want to see these things. I think I would like to see it rise again, but in a controlled way. I don't like the fact that everything nowadays has gone online. Look, I get it. Especially with Games Workshop, where you had to carry a library on your back to a tournament. But Privateer Press and now Steamforged, just reading through the rules, have kept them simple, kept them easy to understand. I miss that feeling of having that card in my hand. I don't want to go swipe up, swipe, or whatever. Okay, tick, 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 tick. Okay. I'd like to dry erase marker on the sheet. It's just... But I don't get how they can go from pretty cool sculpted metal miniatures to a blob of shit like that. And that's honestly my opinion on that. It's going to be interesting painting it up and try to cover up some of these white dings that I just can't... You just kind of can't fix them after a while. You just got to roll with it, Okay. I wanted to keep this one kind of short because, like I said, working with Steamforged and their Warjack, the Deuce that I have, is night and day difference to what Privateer Press rolled out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school in this aspect. Maybe I'm just asking too much. I don't know. But this is where we're going to turn it over to you guys, because I really want you War Machine players, past, present, current, whatever, future, I want your feedback. But as you know, I want to know your questions, comments, love, hatred, anger. How do you feel about the difference between like Steamforge and what Privateer tried to do? Do you miss those metal miniatures after putting together Striker? I really don't. I just don't. I know, what was it, the Ironclad or the big one that Nemo rolled out that had the arm out and all the electrical stuff all over him because he was like a walking thunderstorm? That was one of the hardest miniatures I ever put together because nothing ever seemed to glue properly and dry, whatever. And that was in days when I was using Zap-A-Gap and that, you know, Insta whatever for the super glue to help it bond. All that fun crap. Do you feel that Steamforge can take War Machine to a new height? Or do you think it's going to be like a lot of stuff, say like Atomic Mass Games, where they come out with something really, really cool, you get you interested, then they just lose all support for it? I really like, you know, because like I said, I'm having a blast working through that 2-player box set with the Signar side. I'm probably going to give the Khador away because I never really truly got into them. I never did. Maybe it's that whole I'm an 80s kid, you grew up hating Russia because that's what you were taught to do. Because Khador is Russia. Anywho. Oh, man. Best way to support the channel is leave me that big old thumbs up and drop a comment right down below. Hey, if you want to hit the thumbs down, that's okay too. Maybe you can tell me why. If you didn't like the video, that's totally cool. You know, I get it. I'm not for everybody. But still. Yeah. Hey, I was so excited to get that box set in. I opened it up and I went, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't know. But still, I want to thank you guys for watching this weird little rant because, you know, we do a lot of unboxings and talk a lot of crap on this channel about how I feel about certain things and everything else. And I'm glad you guys have come along for the ride. Seriously, I really, really, truly am glad that you guys are here. But there we go. My quick rant against why Privateer, why? Just why? Steamforge, you've done so much better getting stuff in and ramping other things up. I really can't wait to see what you can do. But I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Hopefully you're having a great day today. Hopefully you're having a safe day today. And Emperor willing, one day, real soon, we'll be rolling dice across the tabletop.